needing to make a new handle for one of our showers at our powwow campground. And this shower had 12 splines in it. And I was thinking, you know what? I paid $20 for 4 handles and threw the valves away and just used the handles. I thought, I'm 3D print these things. So I went into Vcarve Pro and I laid this out, designed it, put these in there. And this is a 3/4 inch spline that fits over the hub of a valve, just a little spline knob. And of course, you had a handle out here on the other side of it. But I basically was just wanting to machine this part of it so that it would be good and I could get it right. So basically, all I did is I grabbed these 2 vectors and I exported them out in Vcarve as a SVG file. And I just called the file Marco and we'll call that one right there as an SVG. We'll save that file. And so that was designed in Vcarve. Probably could design this in TinkerCad. I just didn't really know how to do it. So after I did that, I went over here and loaded up TinkerCad. And this is TinkerCad. And the thing is when I imported it for the first time, I just choose my file. I went into Marco and loaded that file up. And it's on capture screen, so it's a little bit slower. And I wasn't real sure about all this right here, but we'll just import it, leave it as it is, and it'll go to importing that file and put it right in your screen. I kind of looked at that and I thought, well, what is that? That's not what I drew. Well, there's a difference in what it was dragging. I went ahead and edited my grid and put it up here to inches and updated my grid. And then when I looked at this piece, it was like 3.94 inches tall, which, it's basically not that big of a deal. But these 2 guys right here was 0.3, which is 0.75. And let me go ahead and get in that file right there. Try it again. And then tab over to the next file and go 0.75. And then we zoom out a little bit, and that has got our piece that we're working on. And again, there you are there with your pieces. Let me go ahead and pull this over here a little bit so we can get this set right. Okay, so it's 3/4 inches by 3/4 inches square, and it's right at probably 5/8 inches tall. I can change that a little bit, draw it up and down. But anyway, that's my spline, and then I added my handle out here to it, and that worked out pretty good. But I was kind of wondering, how in the world do you get that from Vcarve right into it? Well, so I kind of played with it a little bit, and I played with some different things. Let's go ahead and import another file in here, and we're going to choose the same file, that Marco file that was real thin like a straw, and we're going to import this at 26%, or not 26, but a dimension of 26. And I found out that it'll import it and put it in there at about the right percentage. And then I said, okay, well, what if I try to import a 2-inch square? And I found out that it imports at a little bit different. So if I try to import a 2-inch square, it needs to be set at dimensions at 76.2. And if it's a 3-inch square, it needs to be set at 102 dimensions in TinkerCad. Or you can just go to it and set it up the way that we just did, and do it that way, dragging it in and out, and using the tab feature to reset it. But when I was not that familiar with it, it had been a year since I played with this thing, and I had kind of forgotten how to do it. And anyway, so that was how I was able to get that in there and to adjust it. Anyway, I printed these handles out, printed out 4 of them. I did a draft the first time, made a real thin wall, printed it fast, and then printed some and actually put a Ranger logo on the handle. So when they looked at it, it's got Ranger on it. But anyway, that was kind of fun, and it worked good. And that was just a little tip for Vcarve and TinkerCad.